Hey everybody, it's Gomedex and welcome back to another attempt at the Hobbit Collector Booster Arena Direct, our very high stakes, high risk, high reward event where we're trying to win a collector booster box of the Hobbit shipped to our door. We've had a rough time so far. We've been running into a lot of bombs, making some misplays, opening some weak sealed pools. Every possible thing that can go wrong has gone wrong. So maybe, fingers crossed, it's time for a little bit to go right here and we may have a chance getting that collector booster box. We still got a couple more attempts here. This will be number 6 out of 7. Let's bust open these packs, see what we get to play with today, and hope that it may be good enough to run away with a box. We've got a lot of rares here. How good are they, though? The Eagles Are Coming is a very good one. The Gleaming Splendor doesn't really do anything. What is Part in Friendship? It's 5-mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature you control dies, reveal cards from the top until you reveal a creature. If its mana value is less than or equal to it, you put it onto the battlefield. Less than or equal to the number of lands you control, sorry. Otherwise, put it into your hand. Only triggers once per turn. This feels like probably too slow for sealed, but it is very impactful. Like every time one of your creatures is dying, it's replacing itself immediately. But you're spending 5 mana and not immediately getting anything onto the board, so it can be really bad when you're under any pressure. I'm not actually super excited about that. Same with Along the Crooked Way. You need a lot of graveyard synergy for that to do much. Otherwise, it's like a weak common 3 mana 1/1 pick up a card from grave. Desolation of Smaug looks really good, but it was just okay last time we tried it out. The Lonely Mountain's a really good mana sink. When you're flooded out, just start spinning out a bunch of 2/2s, so that's really nice. Better than Mountain for sure. Notary Hobbits does not seem very good for sealed. By the time you have 5 mana, you really don't care that you're going to start getting a ton of colorless. Killy can be good if you have a lot of dwarfs and equipment, so it's really sealed pool dependent. Only see there's like 2 rares in here I'm actually excited about, which is the Rovanian Rampager, which replaces itself when it dies and can have some good sack synergies, and the Lonely Mountain, which is a really good mana sink. Even our equipment here, the Orcrist Goblin Cleaver, is just immensely slow. 3 mana to play it and 3 to equip. You have to invest 6 mana into it before it impacts the board really at all. And even once it does, it's only giving you +2/+2 trample and maybe a couple treasure tokens. Like it's really, really not worth the cost in sealed. So we opened a lot of dud rares here. Orcrist Splendor, Along, Desolation, Hobbits, Part in Friendship. It's not fair to call these all duds. A couple of them have corner cases they could be good, like Desolation, Along, and Part, but pretty mediocre rares. So it's really going to depend what our best colors look like, regardless of the rares, common and uncommon wise. We'll check out our multicolored and colorless. We've got good fixing. We've got Double Thrush, Thor's Map, Troop of Ponies, and a Gray Dog for a treasure. So if we want to splash, we can. Don't know that we have anything worth splashing, though. Multicolored for Signpost and commons, there's the Sylvan Reveler, which is okay, and Bard the Bowman, which could be big with a lot of recruiting going on, which is cute. And we got some good recruit hybrid cards, Eagles Rescue and Patient Instructor, so cute stuff for the blue-white deck, but let's just see what our 2 best colors are and probably roll with that. We do have the Eagles Are Coming in white, and we had some fun blue-white rares, so that's something we could try out here. Our mana curve's a little awkward here, and we don't have a lot of dwarfs to go with Killy, sadly, and no equipment. So the Killy doesn't even look good here. We're drawing 1 card maximum. But I guess if we paired it with red, Killy might be worth it. But if we go blue-white, we're probably not running them. Yeah, white's pretty mid. The only thing making me interested in playing it really is the Eagles Are Coming. Blue now, not a ton of spells here. Most of the spells we have are decent, though. That draw 2 kind of deck, we've got double recruit, we have draw a card, discard a card every turn, we've got interaction. Blue looks pretty fine if we do want to go for the blue-white with the Signpost uncommon and those hybrid cards. Black has Gnashing of Teeth, Bilbo's Deadly Slice for removal spells. It's got Triple Golem, which is a very good card. Obviously, the legend rule makes it a little awkward to have that many copies, but just a really good card in general. It's got Rovanian Rampager, the strongest card in our entire sealed pool. I don't think there's really much of an argument to not be playing black here, so we got to pair black with something, I think. Red, got that Desolation, we got Burn, we got the Lonely Mountain, we have double Smaug for more removal. They work well with the Desolation, too. Gloin's pretty good with those 7 drops ramping up. I like the idea of the red-black deck here. Looks pretty good to me. But we also have decent green. Want to do some green-red shenanigans. It doesn't really go anywhere, though. It's like we can wood elves up. We can protect things, but our creatures are all kind of tiny. The Notary Hobbits is nothing to ramp into. Yeah, I mean, green looks like potentially good if we had like a couple good 6-drops, but they just don't exist, so... I like black-red. Duskwatch Hunter, a couple Nori options too. Got 20 creatures here. We got 6 cards to cut. Cut 1 Nori for Legend Rule. I really like Golem. I don't know about 3 for Legend Rule. We don't have a crazy amount of like treasures and legends here. So thinking we can also cut Bomber. Yeah, I think these are all the first cuts. This stack here. Potentially cut some of those still. We've got 2 a Rage into the Valley amassing, and that's basically a creature as well. And a Gathering of Darkness. That's like 3 more creatures down here. I don't think I want to play along the Crooked Way, just a single gathering, so I'll cut that. Probably enough value off these 3 semi-draw spells to cut Reverent Howl. We've got the Opportunist doing the same. Puts us to 19 creatures still. 19 creatures and double Rage into the Valley. So we just got all creatures here still. Bomber, B, and Nori. I gotta play one of those over a 3rd Golem, right? Do I? Or do I like Golem enough to just go for it? Cross my fingers. I think I'm just gonna go for it and cross my fingers. I think the +1/+1 counter stuff's gonna be good too. With the armies running around and some 3 toughness cards like Hunter and Oin and Gloin to get them out of reach of Desolation. We'll see. We'll see. I think I'm pretty happy with that build. Any of the colorless cards. We could play the Grey Dog over one of the Golems. If I really want to cut down on Legend Rule. Gets us to the Smogs too. Treasure's not bad. It's kind of the only big adjustment I'm seeing. But I'm just going to stick where we're at. I'm going to lock it in here. We're going to just really hope the Golems are worth the triple copy and our opponents do trade off or removal spell them early enough that we can play the 2nd copy or the 3rd copy in some games. We'll call it a deck here, hop in the gameplay, see how far this one can take us. Here we are on the play for game number 1. We got to hit another red source, but then the hand's pretty good. Playing against the blue deck, they start with their Take a Glance, Bilbo's Adventure to scry 2. So they'll have the 2/1 draw card on turn 3, which is a really good card. Perfect. We draw a 2-drop, and it's a good one to have with the Hunter, too. Get them to discard a Moment of Glory, so they still have the flashback ability later. Now the roads go ever on to pick up a couple planes. Sure. Another Smaug. Here's the Hunter. No lands drawn yet, but we can try with the Goblins. I don't think I want to sack them immediately, because they might not play another creature here. Or they might just play Bilbo, and then they could attack in. Trade into Bilbo's Dees. Nope, they played a 2 toughness card, so they can't attack in anyway. I guess they could, and then I can Gloin, but I really need the land. So we try to get the land to just hardcast 4-mana Gloin. Perfect. Gathering of Darkness is another pretty sweet option here too. But if they don't kill Gloin, that mana ramp is going to be spectacular. I'm gonna play the Gloin. I do not think the landfall triggers on this card matter that much. But Hunter's ability also doesn't matter that much, so let's just send it. We'd get a 3-power creature off the board that they couldn't use Gloin on. Or couldn't use to trade into Gloin. I probably should have attacked pre-Gloin, actually. They might have been more likely to take the trade at that point. Celebrate the Mountain King to kill Gloin anyway. Draw a card, discard a card. Discard a land, poke for 3. Land number 5 could deal 5 with a Smaug. Also Gathering of Darkness, Pakistani Voiced Goblins, which is cool too. I'll do that. Get the goblins ready to draw us another card with the Hunter. There's Bilbo. Ooh, the double landfall trigger. Hobbit Hole's really good with the Raft Steer. Giving them an instant speed landfall trigger on that card makes it a lot more relevant. They can actually tap something or untap something during our turn. Rovanian Rampager is a sweet one. Let's dig. Find a land. Beautiful. We're 1 land away from the Smogs. Landfall tap down our 3/3, I guess. Take a little hit here. Take 5, go to 6. I guess they go land Moment of Glory. They get 2 counters on the board, right? They go for Mountain King's Return. Draw a card, discard a card. Discard a land. Play a land. Tap, take, deal 5. Okay. Alright, set up our board for a profitable Desolation. Which means make Rampager big enough to not die to it, I think. Or draw a card. Either way. I could do both. Partings is pretty brutal, but there's Desolation. They technically didn't have any creatures to reanimate with the Mountain King's Return until we board wiped them, which was pretty funny. But I don't think we could not board wipe them at that point. Dwarven Shortsword, that is a big board for a Moment of Glory. Wow. Jesus. Okay, well, we need to at least do this. Okay, so it's just a +1/+1 counter on everybody. I think we do this. Take like 6 here. We're dead to like removal. Master's Counselors. +1/+1 counter on everybody is a massive board, but no attacks yet still, thankfully. 2 mana to play if a creature died, which means we can do this and play that. Counselors is the potentially biggest creature, so we kill that. They're dead in 3 hits in the sky. If I draw another Golem and I've got 2 more copies, I can lethal them next turn in the sky with 10 more damage if I send Smaug in now. But then I have 2 creatures on blocks. I'm at 8 life. I need 2 blockers to not die. If I only have 1 blocker, I take 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm dead to removal if I attack at all. I don't think I can try for the 2-turn kill here. Feels too risky. Draw a land. Play Golem pass. Come on, 2 other copies of Golem. Let's get there. This looks pretty bad. Keep the Flyer or the Menacer here? I could also just hit them with one of these next turn, and that's fine. Oh, good lord, what is this? Buff their entire board? Yikes. Well, we could have just died there, so not the worst blocks in the universe. Give me any spell off the top so that I can actually attack here. Nope, I'll get a swamp. I mean, I guess I can. It's probably our best bet too as well, which is hilarious. That's just... Show me removal. Or we win? Barely? Gonna legend rule myself into this next Smaug. What a draw, dude. +1/+1 for Exacties. Well, I think I played that as best I could. That's brutal, though. That's brutal. Yeah, I mean, the play was definitely attack and legend rule into a new Smaug. They were 1 swing from dead. That's magic, baby. Start this one off 0-1 heading into game 2. It has been a day of hands like this. We do have flunkies, any lands. We need 2 more lands to really get this hand going, though. But then they're doing a lot of stuff with Opportunist, Golem, Gathering. But A bunch of 4-drops and a 2-lander. It's a mono-colored 2-lander too. Yeah, that's a mole. Keep this one. Get your bat cloud without it being able to really cost reduce it too efficiently here. Rage into the Valley is the draw. It's a good one. I'm just going to go maximum power on this board here, especially against black-red, where they've got a lot of amassing and the Duskwatch Hunter cannot be blocked by their army. Okay, they're just going to Pinecone Strike, fair. Rage into the Valley, draw a card. Find Rovanian Rampager, that's a good one. Golem it up, because I'm greedy. Four mana now, there's an Oin. Cool. Pretty happy to just play another Golem here. Well, not another Golem, play the Golem. What are you doing? Are you running the +3/+0 first strike trick? No, sack it, draw 2. My precious. Cool. Golem. Running the Golem out like as quickly as I can in this deck because we've got 3 copies. Like we really want to prioritize playing that over other spells when we can. Crude Bent Blade. Keep the 4/3 Menace even though it's got the legend rule. So white source, there's a Dwarven Provisioner. Loin is the draw, not a bad one. If I top deck a land off Rage into the Valley, I could double spell this turn, so I'm gonna gamble on it. And I do not need to Deadly Slice, so we'll play the Rampager. Land and Oin. Drop my precious. Don't have the mana to equip it yet. It's 2 mana. And 2 life, which is probably going to come in clutch for us here, because we're being pretty aggressive. Set up a pretty gnarly Gloin if they go for blocks on the Menace, or if they double block Rampager, that's also fine, because then we Bilbo's Deadly Slice. I think we're eating this army here. Cool. Yeah, this will go well. Finish off the Oin and play Gloin. Pass the turn. The Master of Lake Town, a Death Toucher that could draw some cards. Nobody's graveyard is big enough for them to draw cards off of it yet. They could give it hexproof if they pay a couple life so that it does stick around long enough to trade. If they don't give it hexproof, then we slice it. Put the blade on it. They are not going to give it the hexproof. They're deciding here. They are not going to give it the hexproof, so let's kill it. Goblin or Orc? These are not goblins or orcs, so I cannot Goblin Town for lethal here. Play the Bat Cloud and hope for lethal. Feels a little risky. Yeah, I was going to say, it feels a little risky to attack and like sack the Bat Cloud and then just have a removal spell. And I have less creatures that way. So I would probably, even if they waited to cast that, choose not to sack Bat Cloud there, even though it does present lethal. It's just worse against removal, but it works out in the end, and we are 1-1 heading into game 3. Here we are on the play for game 3 with a monocolored hand. That's a little sketchy, but the strongest card in the whole deck. A very good follow-up. Gonna go for it. Unfortunately, we drew our 5th swamp instead of our first mountain last turn. So that is not an ideal draw. Playing against another black-red deck. They've got both their colors immediately and a turn 2 play. Goblin Plate Mail. Sketchy. There's the mountain. A little late, but it's here. We can Oin and put a counter on it next turn. Could be fine. I may put a counter on the Rampager, though, instead, just to be able to attack into a 2-power creature. Without trading just yet. Black-red, theoretically a decent matchup for the Rampager. If they have the Pinecone Strike, that's going to be rough. So if we can get Rampager to 4 toughness or better, that could be worth it. Although here, if we just attack with 3 toughness and trade into those, that'll be great. But they're not going to. They're just going to Menace Swing. If they want to spend the 1 black mana removal spell on Rampager, I'm pretty happy with that too. Just as long as we get a creature back out of Rampager when it dies, it's doing its job. And we get a 2-for-1. Yeah, this is absolutely fine. Okay. Get a little greedy with Golem as I always do and get my counter. And my creature. We did draw just another land this turn, but at least it's the one that we can sacrifice to do something, and it's another red source. But we are kind of flooding. Here comes Dory, get a treasure token. They have the Enduring Story now, so Oin is active. Golem of their own. Less cool. Bilbo's Deadly Slice is the draw. That's a pretty good one. I'm just kind of trying to draw through my deck with Oin at this point. Smaug's a very good draw. Just play a Golem and... could pass, but 4/4 for 4/3 trample is a good deal. And getting damage in is good too. Alright, it is going to be the trade though. There's the Spew Flame on our Golem. Which is actually fine, because that means our other 2 copies of Golem are chilling now. Play our own Spew Flame this turn. Ooh, the Lonely Mountain. Well, I need an untapped land right now. Which is awkward, because it means a tap land next turn when I've got the 7-drop. There's their Golem. Burn, Tree and Fern on that, and we still have Deadly Slice for their Smaug. Good draw. Shoot that. Poke for 1. I am not discarding Bilbo's Deadly Slice. Blow up the plate mail. Really want to throw removal at Opportunist either. Let's just get our dragon out. Now Oin's a 2/3 to trade into the Opportunist too. Not spending... Yeah, I'm not spending removal on the ground creatures, so let's rage into the valley. Find a flunkies. Holding up Bilbo's Deadly Slice. If we don't cast it, then we just discard a mount and draw a card. I'm assuming they're going to like cast a Smaug and we're going to cast a Deadly Slice. That's the plan. Perfect. Perfect stuff. They can't get through our stuff at all here. Get a 2/2. Two more swings and we're out of here. They're also milling a bajillion. Oh man, they had a Thorin? Gross. And they've got no equipment left on their board anyway because we burned it away, luckily, but... The Mythic Smaug. Kind of funny, the common's bigger, so it can't really block profitably. Send in the Master of Lake Town to draw 2 cards when it dies. Nope, change their mind. Pass turn it is. They're scared of the lethal crackback. They should be. Discard a card, draw a card, find a Golem, find a Gathering of Darkness. Gathering of Darkness back, a Golem or a Rampager. Everybody with at least 3 power can attack in, so we can Golem up this Dwarf. Looks good. Sentries to kill the flyer, but they've got 1 creature left here. Then I could just Gathering of Darkness it back. That actually gives me a way better card engrave. Rage into the valley, amass a little bit, draw a card. Counters onto the Opportunist. Okay. Find Gloin. There's Gnashing of Teeth. It's gotta be a way to lethal here. Can I cast both of these? No. Kill 1 card, they block with us. They block the 6/6. I might just be too dumb to see lethal. But here I am. They have to trump the 6/6 so we can send everyone in and get 3 in. So is the best way to be able to play removal and a creature in the same turn is going for the 3-mana removal spell and the 4-mana Golem. They have to trump the 6/6, take the 3. Beautiful. There's the concession from our opponent. That's lethal. That is now 2-1, at least a 50-50 record heading into game number 4. Playing against a blue deck here. For game number 4. Blue-green it is. A little worried about that color pair being able to dodge Desolation pretty well. With some chunkers, but we'll find out. At least glowing away the Bilbo, which will be nice. If we don't just want to run them out and start getting our mana. If they play like the 4 mana 3/1 flyer and don't put a counter on it, that would be sick. Or actually, no, the 4 mana 3/1 flyer doesn't get a counter, it gets a 1/1 beside it. Yeah, if they had a 4th mana and cast that, that would have been such an incredible turn. But they play a 4/2, which survives our Rampager. Trade, get a 3/3. I mean, they could trade Bilbo off too right now. Do not want to trade Bilbo off to Rampager. I guess I'm gloining away the Bilbo to make sure the trade is the better trade for me. Or they take the damage. And that works too. Nasty little rabbit. Good card to kill with Desolation. If they cast another creature, I'm incredibly happy to Desolation. Dang. No other creature. Oh. 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 Well. I think we still kill those two. Unless they take this trade, then we go like Bat Cloud Hunter. They got the +1/+1 trick. Gross. So we trade into Hunter and the +1/+1 trick. And they are still on all spells right now. Oh, nope. The 4th land for the Pathmaker to trigger the nasty little rabbit. Pretty filthy. Get those way out of reach of the board wipe anyway. Even if we still had it. Gloin and Oin. Obviously can't attack into a 4/4 with a 3/3. Oh my lord. Excellent rare. Putting 2 +1/+1 counters and vigilance on the board every turn. Yeah, and this stuff is just so chunky. Even if we held the board wipe forever, it's not doing anything about these. My, this is a nightmare. They got a 1 black mana spell here too. Nope, we actually do kill the 5/5 at least. 6 damage is not enough to kill that little rabbits, but if they don't have removal, we can Death Touch away on blocks. I'm going to play the 7th land here, and I can sack Goblin Town now without feeling bad about it. But so we'll keep every other land we draw to use to discard and draw. See, that's what I wanted them to play turn 4. If they had managed to have a hand that would just curve into like that naturally, we could have gotten a really good deal from the board wipe. I'm going to die to this 3/1 flyer, because the Bat Cloud has to stick around to keep the rabbit off of us, so the flyer just chips in for 2 a turn. Okay, or the Bat Cloud dies now so that the flyer chips in for 2 turns. Do I discard this Hunter because I just need removal for the flyer to stand a chance? The Hunter doesn't help me stand a chance. I'm specifically sacking like a 3/3. I'm sacking real stuff. Yeah, let's just ditch that. Finding out to the flyer. Gathering of Darkness is 1. Not immediately, it's going to be too expensive. Play a 4 mana card the turn I cast this. But the Bat Cloud's going to be 6 mana. Oh, I can pick up Gloin. What am I talking about? I can pick up Gloin. Hello. Easy pickings, actually. I do say so myself. They're down to 7. Wonderful. Oh! I was like, why would I have to play around haste from the Sultai deck? Obviously, we get the extra damage in. Oh my god. Insane. We still have a chance there if we don't attack with Oin. I just really was not expecting 10 haste power. Oh my god. Well, I guess if we held Oin up, then they play it and just don't even attack. Probably, because they're at 7 against a 6/6. They die to any amass card. So yeah, they play it, hold it up on blocks. I can't blow it up with anything, so it'd be an uphill battle, but it'd be possible. Yeah, no, if they played it and then didn't attack, then I untap, I Goblin Town the army, attack with an 8/8, they have to trade. Oh, man. This is what happens when the Arena Direct is like the first weekend the set is out. I just don't know these rares yet. I didn't know there was... I haven't played enough to like I knew this card existed. I've seen it once before, but not enough to be like thinking about that as a possibility of 10 hasty power from a green deck, from like a non-red deck, just hasting damage in there. Brutal loss. All right. Yeah, that was winnable then. If we held the 1/3 up, because then we make the 8/8, we force the trade. Man. Arena Direct first weekend is rough. 2-2 it'll be. I mean, even if we did know the set really well, we'd have to be playing around real corner cases, because that's one specific rare they had there that would punish me for that, but it really punished me, and we'll be out of the running for that. That is 2-2 in this direct run. It has been a rough one, but we still got one more chance. We'll hop back in there, see if we can't redeem ourselves in the very end, but if not, we started the year excellently with these Arena Directs, got a lot of good prizes, and these last couple Directs, if we don't win next time, have been some rough ones, but we'll see. But that is going to end today's video. As always, I'd like to thank my patrons and YouTube members for their support, as well as you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it and are interested in seeing some more, you can always like, comment, and subscribe to tell the YouTube algorithm to send you some more in your recommended feed. If you'd like to support the channel directly, you can check out the Patreon link in the description below. And other than that, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon for some more Magic Arena.